This insect has been in the United States for about 10 years now, first found in Pennsylvania about a decade ago, and it's really become quite a pest on field crops, so corn and soybeans, on all kinds of vegetables, all kinds of fruits. It's a problem to homeowners, and it also attacks ornamental plants. So really, there is no plant that escapes the devastation of this insect.
The brown marmorated stink bug has a very wide range of hosts, including many fruits and vegetables. Peach is seen here. Several of its preferred hosts in the wild are Paullinia trees, the tree of heaven, and serviceberry. The damage on fruits and vegetables can be significant due to the insect's long, piercing, sucking mouth parts. Here you can see them feeding on plums and on peppers with a typical spotting beneath the skin, followed by the tomato with similar symptoms. And in the last picture, you can see the damage done to apples on the left and sweet corn on the right. Here you can see several brown marmorated stink bugs feeding through the husk. Here Dr. Welty points out the typical damage from brown marmorated stink bug on sweet corn. Remember, all this damage occurs through the husk of the ears. Damage is significant, as you can see, and just a little bit of feeding will make most sweet corn ears unmarketable.
Okay, here we have a few apples that have been damaged by stink bug. We can't say absolutely for sure which stink bug. I think there's a good chance it's brown marmorated because there's a lot more of the damage in this orchard this year, and we know there have been brown marmorated stink bug around this site. I just never saw them right on the fruit. But what you look at here, there are different forms of the damage, but in this case it's a dark, slightly depressed area with a distinct pinprick in the middle where the bug had fed. Here's some other variations here. In this case it's not really depressed, but there's a dark spot with a pinprick in the middle. Here's another case where it's also not particularly depressed, but it's a dark spot with the hole in the middle. So stink bug damage on apples is very, very similar to two other kinds of injury. The one shown here is cork spot. This is a very common injury on apples, or it's not an injury, it's a problem on apples due to a calcium uptake issue. But typically it's a dark sunken spot, but without any little pinprick in the middle. So the stink bug damage is similar, but with a small hole in the middle. The other damage that can be very easily confused with it is late season feeding damage by the plum curculio, and that's what we see here. It is also usually a dark circle with a hole in the middle, but the hole is noticeably larger and doesn't go very deep, only about like a 1/16 or an 1/8 of an inch deep. And it's not always at the calyx, but typically the plum curculio damage is at the calyx.
Keys to identification are the white bands found on the antennae, and near the tail of the insect, the black and white banding along the sides. This is the bottom view of the insect, showing its very long proboscis and white color. Other common stink bugs are the one-spotted stink bug, number 1, a common pest of tomatoes, number 2, the green stink bug, an occasional pest of fruits and vegetables, and number 3, the spine soldier bug, a predator in alfalfa and other crops. Here you can see other stink bugs and true bugs in comparison to the brown marmorated stink bug. This next picture shows the life history from the eggs in first instar, or nymphs, through the 2nd to 5th instar stage, followed by the adult male and female.
So what you're looking at now is one of the larger traps. It's called a pyramid trap. This one is painted yellow. That's a color that's very attractive to most insects, and the idea is that both the color is attractive, and also at the top of the trap we have a pheromone lure here, this little white strip that you see. It's not the pheromone of this particular stink bug species, but a related species. The idea would be that the bugs are attracted by a combination of the pheromone and the physical shape and size of this trap. They will crawl up the side of the trap, come inside this coned area, and then on the other side of this pheromone lure is a vapor strip which will kill the insects and hold them inside the trap. So we'll come by once a week and take a look at what's caught in the trap and try to see if we found any of these brown marmorated stink bugs.
Growers and homeowners that see this pest can report it at the survey site at the web address listed here on this slide. There are many methods for management and control for which we don't have time to go into here today. In terms of chemical control, growers should be aware of the various pre-harvest intervals and maximum number of applications per crop. Here are the tables that can be found in the iBooks author or EPUB format of the complete report. Either format is available for downloading from the VegNet webpage.